Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and today's Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Liam Kennedy, joined by my amazing partner Will Rowe, who's actually on Google Meet with me, and we are going to be breaking down all of the steps that you need to be taking as we have a major tornado and severe weather outbreak currently unleashing. For those of you who don't know, over the course of the day on yesterday, it absolutely plowed through eastern Texas. There was numerous reports of hail, damaging winds, tornadoes, all of the above when talking about severe weather. And now we're looking at portions of the lower Mississippi Valley, portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and then eventually this will be making its way into the Carolinas. And also, my partner Will is going to be giving you an in-depth look at the radar and also futurecast to time out the worst of the weather. So let's go ahead and take a look at where all this is going to be happening in general. Let me go ahead and turn off the radar here. Go ahead and pause that. So here's a look at our SPC outlook as of right now. Let me go ahead and turn this off. Turn that off, turn that off, turn that off. Alright, so here's a look at the SPC outlook, and this is basically pinpointing where the Storm Prediction Center is basically thinking where the worst severe weather is going to be happening. Unfortunately, we do have a moderate 4 out of 5 risk today on our SPC outlook, and that just tells you something whenever you see 4 out of 5 risk. I usually only see about maybe 2 or 3 out of 5, and the fact that we're seeing a 4 out of 5 today is definitely, a light bulb, or, just something that stands out and says, the real, the severity level of this outbreak in general. And this does include portions of the Boot Hill here in Louisiana into south central Mississippi, and then also a very small portion here in western Alabama as well. Whether you're in the slight, marginal, or moderate risk, please be sure to have multiple ways to give warnings over the course of the night tonight. Make sure that you have a plan in place, know where to go. God forbid there is a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning issued. Even if you don't have a tornado warning, if you have a severe thunderstorm warning, still treat it as if it was a tornado warning. Considering we could still be easily seeing winds upwards of 70, 80, almost 90, potentially over 100 miles per hour within some of these cells. So this is definitely not a very good thing. So Will, I know by the time that this line will get into the Carolinas, it's going to lose a lot of its instability and also, just lift and, just help, from the atmosphere. Are we going to be seeing any sort of major severe weather outbreak like people in Alabama and Louisiana are going to be seeing tonight, or is it really going to die down before it gets to us?
Yeah, it's definitely going to lose some of its steam, but I did want to bring something to your attention. I have your live stream up on my computer. They could not see that SPC outlook.
Oh, shoot.
So I did want to bring that to your attention.
Can you say that one more time? I didn't have my speakers on.
But yeah, it is going to lose some of its steam, but I did want to bring something to your attention. It was not showing the SPC outlook that you were showing. I have your stream up on my computer right now.
Okay.
So just be sure to fix that up. But yeah, it's definitely going to lose some of its steam. You can see it's got a long line of thunderstorms extending from Tennessee all the way down to the Gulf Coast. That's going to eventually make its way from west to east, but it is going to move at more of a north to south, or a south to north rather, motion. So you see, if you play in those frames on the radar that you have up right now, it is moving at a more north or south to north motion, but it is gradually drifting off to the east. And as we go into the night tonight, it is going to lose some of its steam, and whenever it gets here, it's not going to be able to recover from that. So we do still have that threat of seeing the tornadoes, large hail, and gusty winds, but it is not as high as what they saw in Texas and eastern or western Louisiana yesterday, and what they have been seeing throughout Louisiana, Mississippi, and now making its way into Alabama right now. So it's definitely not as high of a threat, but we do have a level 2 out of 5 risk, or a slight risk of severe weather on the SPC outlook. So Liam, I'm going to throw this back to you.
Oh, there we go. For some reason, my GR analyst wasn't showing up. So yes, as Will was just saying, this is our main line that we're watching right now. Shout out to Chief Meteorologist Ed Piotrowski for giving me this file that we can see the lightning strikes. I mean, this line speaks for itself. It has a lot of very strong 2 severe thunderstorms, plenty of lightning, and I think we actually do have one report of a tornado right now. That was just to the west of Columbus there in western Mississippi as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at our first tornado warning out right now. This does go into, I think, 4:29 p.m. Central Daylight Time. This is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. It's not confirmed at this moment in time, but it is still a tornadic cell. Let's go ahead and take a look at our velocity and see if we see any sort of rotation. Well, what radar site do you think would be best to look at this tornado warning on?
Which ones are around it?
I'm
I'm
currently
not. I
on
don't actually have the radar pulled up
what
right
am I
now.
on? Lordy Lord. I am on KDGX. It's the one near Brandon. It's just to the west of those flash flood warnings. Just to the north, excuse me.
Try. Uh, I think that'll be the good to look at the backside of it, and then go towards the one near Birmingham or Tuscaloosa to see the front side of it.
Right, okay. I'm trying to. My radar is not loading at the moment for some reason.
Near
Also, if any of you that are
Birmingham or
watching have any
Tuscaloosa.
questions for me or Will, or worried about anything, just just leave your comments down in the live chat, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions, comments, or concerns you might have. Okay, so we now have three actually different tornado warnings right now. I guess because of that radar, we are now able to see that. While we wait for this radar to load, it's taking its sweet old time, unfortunately. I don't think it realizes the severity level of the situation, but, technology, it's slow when it wants to be and doesn't listen to what we want. There we go. Okay. So I think right now, Will, if you can still see my screen, there's not really too much rotation. Honestly, I'm guessing that it's somewhere right in here.
Yeah, there's definitely not a lot of rotation, but it is very broad right there wherever you circled. Yeah, there's definitely
Right.
a little something there. And there might even be something further to the north as well. You can kind of see a little couplet up there as well.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, so the radar site is right here. So basically, what this is showing is you've got the radar site over here down in this corner. Just to give you a perspective, you got the green winds blowing towards the radar in this direction, and red blowing away from the radar in this direction. So right exactly where the green is trying to touch the red, somewhere in that general vicinity, is where the rotating supercell is currently rotating right now. And as Will just mentioned, this also. Oh, we just got a brand new radar scan. Never mind. I think we do have another little area of rotation somewhere right in here. You can kind of see where the reds are mixing with the green. That might be another area of rotation, but thankfully, within this warning, even though there's two different areas of rotation, they don't look very impressive on the radar. Let's go ahead and work our way down south and take a look at these warnings.
Actually, could you go up a little further north real quick towards
Yeah,
that severe thunderstorm?
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And
yeah,
also, I
go
would like
to
to
that
mention
radar.
right here. We did the lightning thing just went away. Within that radar site, it was picking up around I think about 1,000 lightning strikes, and this radar is picking up 606 lightning strikes. So, I mean, even if these thunderstorms are not tornadic, they're still producing damaging winds and also very frequent lightning. So, well,
And yeah,
take a look at that
I did
thunderstorm
just want to
warning.
mention, if you take a look right there towards Russellville, Littleville, I think the radar scan kind of cleared it up, but there was a little bit of rotation on the previous frames, but I think it did kind of clear up since we just got a new radar scan in. So definitely any of these severe warned thunderstorms could produce a tornado. So treat a severe thunderstorm warning today if you are in these areas as if they were a tornado warning, just in case they do produce a tornado. So be sure to get to your safe spot, know where that is, and have all your disaster supplies ready to go in case a tornado warning or even severe thunderstorm warning is issued.
Right. I'm trying to see if I can see any sort of debris signature. I'm guessing the radar. I mean, I'm guessing the area of rotation is somewhere right in here, maybe.
Yep, right there. I
Okay.
just got a new radar scan in, so I'm not picking that up right now.
Yeah, and thankfully, there's not really anything showing up on the correlation coefficient that would signify or, relate more to that
Oh,
rotation.
it just came back. So I am
Yep,
seeing a
yeah,
little
yep.
bit
I
of
just got that brand new
rotation
radar
right
scan
there.
now.
Yep.
Let's see
So
here.
definitely something to keep an eye on right there near Littleville, Russellville, right there in that severe thunderstorm warning. Definitely something to keep an eye on just in case a tornado does drop from this.
Storm relative. Wow, that rotation signature. I mean, I don't know if it's a rotation signature, but the wind is howling. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you can see this on your screen, but right here when I'm going on this white area, look at this part of your screen right here where I'm going over this mile-per-hour area. When I'm over this white area, we're seeing winds easily upwards of 60 miles an hour. So we're talking about tropical storm sustained force winds, if not hurricane sustained force winds. So, even if this is not a tornadic situation, this is definitely a very strong and damaging wind threat, to say the least.
That's for sure. Yep.
Will, correct me if I'm wrong. This looks like it might be forming somewhat of a little hook right in there.
And that is where at?
So right there with that
Yep.
cell we're looking at, is that like a little bit of a hook?
It does look like a little bit of a hook on the reflectivity, but if you switch back to the velocity, you're not seeing much rotation within it, but it does look like it could produce a tornado, maybe possibly later. But right now, it
actually,
is not looking like much of a rotation because these are really indicating winds going the same way.
Right. Wow, that wind just really picked up. So now we're seeing winds.
Yep.
Let me go back over here.
See, now you're starting to see opposite winds, so that's where we really need to watch right there. And even that cell a little bit further to the north, just to the west of Littleville,
Right.
These are two areas that could be producing tornadoes here soon. Or it looks like a wall cloud could possibly be dropping from these, because usually whenever you see the early signs of rotation on the velocity, you start to see maybe a wall cloud start to drop from these thunderstorms.
Right.
And a wall cloud is almost an imminent sign that a tornado is in the process of forming. So
right. And then also, ladies and gentlemen, also notice this. These little white areas, the radar is trying to possibly pick up some hail as well. So this is now a damaging wind threat, a very heavy rain threat, and also possibly now a hail threat as well. So we got the hail threat, damaging wind threat, possibly a little bit of rotation. So this is a multi-threat system. And now we're actually getting a reported hail right here, 0.55 inches, just over a half an inch of hail is now being reported to the north and west of Russellville. I feel like this system is really trying to spark some rotation right in there.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I've been watching from the past 4 frames. Yeah, that's why I made you switch further to the north, because it did look like something was forming right there.
Right. Yeah. And then I'm also looking. I got my other computer up, and I'm looking at the radar. Oh, we've got a very strong area rotation within this cell. Hold on a second. Which cell is that? That is this one right here. So, well, I'm looking on my other computer. This warning right here that I'm going over with my mouse, you'll see in a second, very strong rotation signature. And actually, it's showing right here that there's a threshold of 8.1 right now. I'm not sure if that's anything extremely bad, but
It doesn't look like it's loading. I'm trying to get loaded into.
yeah, it's taking its sweet old time, unfortunately.
And maybe
go ahead and get GR Earth set up on your computer, and you can go ahead and get the HRRR model or whatever, and get that futurecast ready for our local area if you don't mind.
I already got it in my slideshow right now. So
okay, well, here's that rotation signature.
Oh yeah, that's definitely something right there, and I'm looking at it.
That is very strong rotation. Let me go ahead and see if we got a breeze signature on this thing. So our area rotation is going to be right in here. So it doesn't look like it, but I'm still kind of, you can see that there's, a little bit of yellow that's kind of showing up beside the purple. So that maybe just be like dust or something that's being kicked up. I don't know if it's necessarily debris, but the radar is definitely picking something up that's not rain. It's just not very clear at all.
I do just want to point out, we are seeing these thunderstorms about 50,000 feet in the atmosphere. So these clouds are really tall. So that if raindrops get shot up to the top of those clouds, they are going to freeze really easily, and that's how hail forms. So whenever you get a raindrop caught in an updraft, it goes to the top of the cloud and it freezes, and until that updraft can't support it, it will keep cycling through before finally falling to the ground once it's too heavy for the updraft to support it. So whenever you see these taller cloud tops, it's really easier to get the hail to form since it's colder as you rise into the atmosphere. So whenever you see these clouds that are even higher in the atmosphere, around 50, 60,000 feet, that's where you're going to get your larger hail. And it does look like near Livingston in Alabama, it does look like we are seeing those cloud tops that are upwards of 50,000 feet. So watching out for some hail down there. I do have a hail size. It's about a half an inch right now in diameter. So we are seeing some hail. Yep. Just to the north in that tornado warning. Right. So you're probably seeing some tornado on one of those flanks.
In Alabama, you said?
Yep.
Oh, this one right here?
Yep, and that tornado just north of Livingston.
Oh, this is it. Okay. No reports of hail showing up on this. Just lightning. And also, there's definitely a rotation signature right in there as well.
Do you have your hail reports on?
Yeah, I have all reports on.
Because I do have a hail size of 0.47.
GR Earth here, because I can see a hail report on GR Earth better. Yes, actually it's 0.28 now, actually.
Decrease, that's good.
Yep. Let me actually try and bring up GR Earth on here. Hold on a second.
And yeah, you can't see me on your YouTube. I still have that stream up. You still can't see me.
Say what?
You still can't see me on your YouTube. I have your video pulled up right here.
Oh, shoot.
It doesn't matter. Just, you know.
What about that?
Yep. There you go.
Okay. There you go. There's that good-looking guy. The more science-y person or knows how to work the models a little bit better than I do. Let me go ahead and try and get GR Earth up here.
Yeah, I do have the HRRR model up whenever you're ready to take a look at that.
Okay, I'm trying to get GR Earth up here. Hold on just a second, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to get some technical difficulty.
It does look like we have a new tornado warning just issued, maybe?
Where at?
Actually, no, we do not. That was a false alarm.
Well, I think there's like multiple areas of rotation. If you can still see my screen.
There is.
You've got one right here, obviously. That will probably go 20 to 1 in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, so I said new tornado warning issued because they trimmed one, so it made it look like a new one was issued. They just trimmed it though.
Okay, and then also, Will, I think that there's two different areas of rotation here. You've got this one right here that's near going to Gainesville, and then you've also got this one trying to form as well.
Yeah, so you can even tell there's a little hook on the velocity on both of those. So we really do have to watch the motion of those. And I'm not sure if there's a hook showing up on the reflectivity, but if you just switch back to the velocity, you can definitely see a little bit of rotation or a little bit of a hook.
I keep forgetting I have to keep switching back on OBS when I'm switching back to GR Earth and GR2. There we go. Still learning this new streaming software, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you bearing with us. Okay, so now what am I up on? Am I on GR2 now? Okay. Wait for this slow radar to load. And thankfully, it looks like that hail report that Will was talking about within the cell near Emily, which is right here, that hail report has gone away. Will, is that correct on yours too?
Yep, it sure has. So that's a sign of the thunderstorm weakening. So we definitely like to see whenever those hail sizes start to go away or even decrease, because that indicates that it is weakening.
Right. So while we go
And
ahead and wait for this radar to load, this is actually, let's go ahead. Will, I'm gonna go over back to the Google Meet if you want. How do you want to show your future cast?
I can just share my screen. It's all
Okay,
good.
good deal. Uh, I'll do
I
this.
want to share this one right
Is it
here.
auto? Did I put it on auto now?
Yeah, you're gonna have to increase my screen size on OBS too.
Right. So Will actually has this incredibly amazing setup in his room, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't been to his studio just yet, but I'm planning to go there this summer. He's FaceTiming numerous times, and his setup is just absolutely incredible. He does an amazing job in front of the green screen. Honestly, you know, when I was watching a video he did for me the other night, I honestly thought I was watching a professional, certified, degree meteorologist, considering how well he performs in front of the camera. So, Will, take it away. I know you're going to do great. I'm excited to see this.
And I'm just making sure. Did you increase my screen size because there's a little bit of a delay?
Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and change the layout. Do spotlight for that. And then
So
full screen, right? There we go.
are we good?
Yes, I believe so.
All right, so here in our local area, it does look like we are going to pick up on a few of these showers and even thunderstorms, like I was mentioning earlier. But it does look like it is going to move in sometime during the middle or late morning hours. So right now, this frame is at about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. You are starting to see some of these showers and even thunderstorms starting to move into the area. And as we progress into the late morning hours, you really start to see these yellows, orange, and even a couple of reds really start to fire up. And that comes as we get the heating of the day. So you're really starting to see some of these thunderstorms really start to fire up towards the late morning and even into the early afternoon. Then as we head into the middle of the afternoon, really our daytime heating hour, this is at 4 o'clock, you're really starting to see these dark reds and even some stronger thunderstorms.
Hey, Will,
so we are going to
I
see.
forgot to change the scene. You're still looking on the radar. I forgot to change the scene. I'm so sorry.
You're all good.
Okay, hold on a second. This stupid thing.
I have to turn you down so I don't hear my echo in my ear.
Okay, we should be good to go now. Okay. Will, I think you're good to go now. I do apologize for that.
You're all good.
Okay.
So are we good to go now?
I believe so, yes. Somebody, if anybody in the chat wants to let... Okay, yep, I think we are good to go now. I'm looking at the thing now. Come on. It's still showing that... Oh, wait. Hang on a second. Yep, now you're good. You're good.
We are good now. All right.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, we are going to start to see these showers and even thunderstorms move in towards the late morning or mid to late morning, I should say. So this is about 8 o'clock tomorrow. You're starting to see some of these showers, even thunderstorms, start to work their way into portions of the upstate, and even a few showers working in towards the western and central Midlands. Now, really, as we head towards the daytime heating hours, so this is at about 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, you are really starting to see some of these thunderstorms really start to fire up because our temperatures are going to be in the upper 70s across much of the state. So that is plenty of fuel to get those thunderstorms really cranking. So as we head towards the daytime heating hour at 4 o'clock, this should be the warmest part of our day. Much of the rain is out of the upstate. We are still seeing a few showers and even a thunderstorm is possible. And this is going to continue throughout even the late morning hours on Thursday. So really, this is Wednesday afternoon. These showers on the backside of this line are starting to produce some thunderstorms as well, but just because of that daytime heating. But our main concern is along the main line right here, so around the central Midlands and really starting to work their way into the eastern Midlands. This is going to continue as we lose some of the daytime heating. The thunderstorms are going to start to tone back a little bit, but they are still keeping much of their steam. Even Myrtle Beach, just to the north, towards the western parts of Wilmington, and even down into the low country, just south of Waltersboro, even working their way into Charleston. We are seeing some strong thunderstorms making their way in. This is at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. And then we are still seeing that south to north motion, but it is slowly drifting off to the east as it is working from south to north. So by about midnight tomorrow, we are still dealing with a few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but most of it is just rain at this point because you don't have much fuel to support these thunderstorms. But as we work our way into the morning hours on Thursday, that rain starts to come back. Just because of that south to north motion, it is dragging moisture as the line is moving. So while it is moving to the east, it's dragging moisture as it does come from the south to the north. So we are still going to see showers throughout the day on Thursday. This is mainly going to be from the Midlands and east. The upstate really shouldn't see much in the way of showers, but I did keep that shower chance in their forecast as well. If you want to go check out my forecast, that is going to be uploaded on my Facebook here soon. But I did keep there about a 50% chance of a shower in the upstate on Thursday, just because there is a little bit of uncertainty because some of the models actually drag the moisture into the upstate as well. But this model probably is going to do the best job of showing what is actually going to happen. So as you head into the later parts of Thursday, actually, we are still dealing with showers. This is at about 9 o'clock on Thursday morning. Still showers across the area, maybe even a rumble of thunder. Then as we head towards the afternoon hours, this is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, which is as far as this model goes. We are still even dealing with a few showers as well, but much of the rain is going to start to make its way off the coast by this point. So we are really losing the instability, and much of the energy is off to our east. You are still seeing these thunderstorms. If I move over here, you are still seeing thunderstorms over the ocean, but just mostly rain for your Thursday is what I am expecting, but you can't rule out maybe a few rumbles of thunder. Liam, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Standing ovation. Absolutely fantastic.
Anything new pop up while I was doing that?
I do not think so. Still looking. Oh, we do have a report, a hail report. Let me go back over here. Put GR2 back up here.
And let me stop sharing, and I need you to share once again on here.
Yep.
Okay, I see it.
You good to go now?
Yep.
Okay. So this cell right here, this is the cell that we've been watching for quite a while now. This does have a hail report just under half an inch as well. There is, hundreds of reports of lightning here. Will, I think we actually may have some sort of rotation, actually. Oh, yeah, look at this.
Yeah, there's
Why
definitely...
that should be tornado warned. That should be a definite tornado warned.
Well, the reason I think it's not tornado warned, let me switch back to that radar. Which radar site are you taking a look at?
I am on KBMX, directly in the middle of Alabama.
Got you. So waiting for that to load in.
The rotation is going to be in between Winfield and Carbon Hill.
I'm actually going to switch over to the GWX radar because that one is closer to where we are indicating that. So if you take a look at it, it's really broad rotation. I mean, maybe a little something there, and we just got a new radar frame, and that did clear it out just a little bit. So
just a second, I'm changing over to the GWX radar.
Yeah, but I'm just letting you know what I'm seeing. I mean, yeah. Once you switch back to that closer frame, you could really see why it wasn't tornado warned, because the other radar site that you're looking at, the BMX, that is not their responsibility there. So that's going to be in the Mississippi at GWX. And they're not really seeing that rotation from their radar. So I see that it's not loaded in on yours just yet.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why it's taking so long.
And I'm going to need you to go back and put me back on there since I shared my screen. It's not showing up again.
What's that? Oh.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Is it showing up? Yep, there we go.
Take off this little... There we go. I don't understand why this is taking so long to load. Like, this is ridiculous. There we go. Okay. Oh, yeah.
You just did it in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a straight line wind. I mean, you can see right over Eldridge, I think that's how you say it, just to the west of Carbon Hill. There's maybe something there, very broad, if anything, but I'm not seeing much in the way of defined rotation, not even enough to issue a tornado warning. So,
right. Well, here's the area rotation. Maybe a little bit of a hookish. Oh,
I think
they just went ahead and issued another threshold here.
I do think there is some hail showing up within this because you can kind of see that on the radar. Like
Okay,
there's kind of a definite area of hail that is possible.
right.
So,
And actually, a really cool thing that we can do, ladies and gentlemen, on this radar, GR2 is absolutely incredible. We can actually go and take a look at this storm 3D, actually, which is one of the amazing features that GR2 Analyst, which is the radar we're
mhm.
currently using, is. Um, I'm still trying to get used to using this. Let's see here. Let's see here. Trying to see if we can see any sort of a funnel cloud here. This will be looking directly down at it.
And really, if we take a look at the progression of these storms, you can see they are still intensifying because you can see that the clouds are growing as you played those frames.
Yeah.
So you can tell these thunderstorms are not losing their steam just yet. But I think once they lose the heating of the day, because it's only 5 o'clock there, so I think once they lose the heating of the day, they are going to lose some of their steam. But I think it is going to be enough to hold the line of thunderstorms together. But as you saw on the future cast, it definitely did lose some of its steam because it's not that well defined line of thunderstorms moving in. It's more of a broken and scattered line of thunderstorms moving in. So that is also another indication that these thunderstorms have weakened from what they once were.
And Will, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that because the reason why they're so strong here is because you've got so much lift and instability, steaming north from the Gulf that's, enhancing, this threat along with the dry line on the backside of this front. So when you get, the dry line to come, from the west and all that moisture and that instability and lift coming from, north from the Gulf of Mexico, those two kind of components together make this outbreak what it has become.
Oh yeah, there's definitely several factors going into this severe weather threat. So you got a cold front moving in. That creates the lift in the atmosphere because it's forcing the warmer air into the upper levels of the atmosphere since it is a cold front. So that cold air is going to sink to the bottom. And doing that, you get your lift right there. But as you see that south to north motion, it's dragging the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico into this line of thunderstorms. So there is your moisture. That's check number two. And it also goes up into the upper levels of the atmosphere because we do have an upper level trough and that cold front that is moving through. You are going to see those winds changing with height. So dragging the moisture from the Gulf, but the cold front is moving towards the east. So you already have winds going two different directions right there just from the cold front and the moisture being dragged. So that's check number three. And now all we're missing is instability. And we got plenty of that just because of the heating of the day. And plus, all these factors together do really just come together and create an unstable atmosphere. So we have all threes. And a way you can remember the four checks are SLIM. So shear, instability, lift, and moisture. Shear, lift, instability, moisture.
I know that I have
So
definitely heard Slim like
yeah.
over the years.
SLIM is an acronym that stands for shear, lift, instability, and moisture. And those are the four checks that you look for whenever you get severe weather. So as I just went over, you have all four of those boxes checked. So that is why we have a considerable threat of severe weather in this area.
Right, and it looks like at the center of this storm, right where that area rotation is, clouds are going at least 40,000 feet up in the air, which is
Yeah.
extremely, extremely high. And then I'm
And I am
also
just
keeping a
monitoring these.
I'm also looking at my other radar here, trying to see if there's any other signs of rotation. Thankfully, it looks like that is our one only tornado warning at this point in time.
We have two, actually.
We do have two?
Yeah.
I only
I
see
was.
one on here. I see one severe thunderstorm warning, one tornado warning, and then multiple flash flood warnings.
Um. Let me see when this one expired. Yeah, this one just expired. It hasn't went away on my radar just yet. So.
Okay.
Yep, it went away.
Good deal. Let's take a look to see how heavy this rain is still falling here within these flash flood warnings. Because I mean, these warnings are just, I mean, these flash flood warnings are just insane. And also, not to mention, ladies and gentlemen, you can just see, how many lightning strikes are being reported within these cells. I mean, this is just, obviously the tornado threat is going to be the main, concern, obviously, but the lightning is insane. We're seeing easily upwards of, 1,400 lightning strikes. And we let the radar take its sweet old time, as usual, to load.
And one thing I do want to point out that we're not talking about is all the flash flood warnings. That just indicates that there's heavy rainfall within these line of thunderstorms. So there's definitely going to be a flooding threat here as well. But there is a flooding threat as this line does even drag on to the east, just because there's so much moisture being sent into this front. But as well as the stronger thunderstorms tend to drop more rain. So you can get those rain amounts to pile up really quickly. So I think we even saw a report in portions of Louisiana. There was one station, I'm not exactly sure, but they got a 1.12 inches of rain in 15 minutes, which is a lot of rain. It was only 15 minutes. That's how heavy the rain was falling in that area, and it was absolutely incredible.
That is insane. Will, I don't think your camera is on here.
It's okay. I mean, I just stopped trying. It's all right.
There you go. Now you're back on.
Yeah.
So I got GR Earth pulled up here. Let me advance this. So here are the flash flood warnings. You can see there's, this line right here. This is going to be, still advancing into the northeast. So Hattiesburg, Mobile, New Orleans, you're about to get on this. You're going to be on the southernmost side of this. You'll probably get into some of this rain that Huma is currently seeing. But I think the worst severe weather is probably going to be somewhere, I would say, within, these lines here around Tuscaloosa, and then also a little north of that as well. Will, if correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like, the worst part about this whole thing is definitely, kind of trying to die down a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I see what you're talking about because you're definitely starting to see some of these cells weaken, definitely. But there is still the instability and all the factors coming together that it's easily for them to redevelop.
Right.
And I think some of the weakening comes from the increased cloud cover, which we've seen several times, even here. Just like we've been under a slight risk of severe weather 5 times, I want to say, in the past 3 weeks. And nothing ever really happened. I mean, we saw a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings last week, but we haven't had much in the way of severe weather, and that's because of the increased cloud cover. So the cloud cover really does kill these thunderstorms because the sun really increases the instability. So whenever you don't have the sun, which it increases the instability because it does heat up the environment. So whenever you don't have the sun playing in the factor there, it's really hard for these thunderstorms to develop. But in this case, even if it was cloudy in portions of Texas yesterday, and even into Louisiana and Mississippi today, you are still going to see these tornadoes and severe weather outbreaks just because of all these factors that were coming together right along the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, definitely. Well said. And also, this tornado warning looks like it has pretty good rotation signature.
Yep, that is newly issued.
This is heading, let's take a look at the storm motion here. Looks like it will be heading, I would say either probably just on the west side here, Waynesboro, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like.
And I think your best bet is going to be to look at the Mobile radar or DGX on this system, on the storm. Not system, storm.
Yeah, I'm on DGX right now.
Take a look at the Mobile radar.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at that, and I mean, it's not showing a lot just because of how far away it is, but I mean, you can still make out where the storm is.
Right.
Was that
Right, so at ahead of this, line right here, Tuscaloosa is about to get this massive rain band right here. This is the band that does have that tornado warning issue, but I think this tornado warning is going to stay well to the south of Tuscaloosa. Not, saying that Tuscaloosa can't get a tornado warning, within this line right here. Next in line is going to be, let's see, Mobile, Hattiesburg, Columbus. I think that main line is just now to the east of you, just to the east of you, but you're still in this, very heavy rain sector right here, so you're going to be in the rain for quite a while. But for Columbus, I think your severe threat is just about over. Not saying you can't have any more thunderstorms that produce damaging winds or hail, but I think your worst part is waning down. Birmingham, you're going to be in the next section. Huntsville, and then eventually you get north into Nashville. You're about to start getting some rain there. Tullahoma, Chattanooga, and then eventually, over the course of the night tonight, it'll eventually get into eastern Alabama, Georgia, and then eventually, as Will said, into the Carolinas as you head overnight tomorrow night into your Thursday as well. So this is going to be this storm is nowhere, close to be done and over yet. Let me go ahead and zoom out here and just so that we can see the whole entire thing. Here's your upper level low right here over the Midwest. You've got your cold front back here, and this is where all the cold and the dry air is coming down here from Canada. Right here, you've got your dry line, which is basically the separation of the warm and moist air here on the front side of this, and that is what has made the atmosphere so unstable and getting, and ready for these thunderstorms. And on the back side of it, you've got, the cold, dry air coming in with this cold front here. So it's a multi, puzzle piece system, if you want to say the least. And we've also got some snow wintry mix there across the northern Great Lakes, but our main threat is obviously going to be this severe weather threat.
And I do want to just point out of that dry line, we are seeing more of a warm front because that warm air is being dragged from the Gulf of Mexico. So if you can draw that out once again, so yeah, there's your low pressure right there. You're seeing, and I think it's a little bit more off to the east than where he's drawing it. It's right in front of that line of thunderstorms.
I think this is pretty much our warm front right here.
The warm front is actually tilted more vertically rather than horizontally, but there's definitely a warm sector right there. So if you could draw the cold front right along the back side of this system, of this system right here.
Don't judge my drawing, folks. I'm not an art major. I'm a meteorology major.
Yeah, so right here is where you're seeing your cold front, right where he's drawing this. And then right along the front side of these thunderstorms, if you could draw a warm front, that's where we're seeing this warmer air from the Gulf of Mexico. And it's also dragging in moisture because warm fronts tend to drag in moisture with them. So that's where you're seeing your horizontal advection is what we call it. So, and yeah, right along this back side right here where he's drawing these arrows, it's just funneling in the cold air from our northern areas. And right there where he's drawing those pink arrows, it's dragging in the moisture and warmer air from the Gulf of Mexico. So right along that cold front.
I can actually see my colors because it's just on the window. I don't think it's on display camera.
Oof.
I just realized that. Whoopsie.
Anyways, the point is there is a cold front on the back side of this line of storms, and on the front side we are seeing more of a warm front. So from the Gulf of Mexico, you are dragging in the warm and moist air, and from the back side of this line, we are dragging in the cooler air. And right in between the cold front and the warm front, we call that the warm sector. So that's where you typically see your stronger thunderstorms, and that has lived to be true today.
Okay, I just switched over the scene in OBS. We should be able to see the drawing now. Hold on a second. I think it's coming back here. Yep, now you can see the drawing. There you go. So yeah, as Will was just saying, here's our upper level low over the Midwest and also the Ohio Valley. Here's your cold front right here. You've got the cold and the dry air coming in on the back side of this. Here's your warm front. And also all this lift and instability and very warm and moist air really just pouring into this whole entire area right here. This is why this area is just so unstable. And, basically all this moisture has just been, put here in preparation for this line of storms to come through. Thankfully, after all this is done, as soon as we get, this line of storms to get out of here, there's really nothing going on in this section right here. So this section will be advancing to the east. So as soon as we can get this main line of storms to get off of the ocean and off of the east coast, we should be in the clear until the next severe weather event comes. And God only hopes that it's not as bad as this one was. Bring back the display capture. There we go. Alrighty. So that Mobile, Alabama radar is not giving us a good depiction of that warning at all, unfortunately. I'll go ahead and switch back over here to the other radar. And also, you can just see right here as I turn on the dew points, this is basically telling us exactly how moist the atmosphere is. We're, extremely moist right in this general section right here. Let me get a different marker. There we go. So you can see dew points well into the 60s and 70s here across much of Mississippi and Alabama there. Obviously down there in Florida where it's very hot and humid. But, as you get this cold and this dry air to come through on this backside, our dew points are in the 30s there across much of Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, Arkansas, some parts now getting into that cold and dry air on the backside of this front there in western Louisiana as well. But you can just see a massive change in dew points going from the 60s here in Mississippi and Alabama to the 50s here across much of eastern Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Louisiana as well. So this is a massive cold front. You can clearly see the dividing line. And that radar still hasn't come up yet. It really is just taking its sweet old time. I just saw the comments you put in the live chat, Will.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a little comment just for those who have missed anything or just to summarize what we are taking a look at.
Right.
And you can only put 200 characters for some reason, so I just split it into 2 comments. But I think it did
Maybe
the job.
they'll let us do more as soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers.
Hopefully.
Also, for those of you who are brand new to my channel, I'm trying to hit 625 subscribers by my birthday, which is June 21st. So if you're brand new to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you do subscribe. And also be sure to mention this channel with your friends, family members, co-workers, whoever you might know. Very accurate weather at your fingertips. That's me and Will's exact same slogan, actually.
Wow. I do want you to throw this in here.
Uh-huh.
Actually, if you bring my screen up, I will show this video that I am seeing. I believe it is from...
Let me go ahead.
It doesn't say where it's from, but I just want you to see these tornadoes that they are seeing.
Can you present your screen?
Yep. You got me pulled up?
Yes, I have the Google Meet pulled up right now.
Perfect. So I did want to show this. This is a tornado that they were seeing, and I think it is Mississippi today. So I am just going to play this video.
Well, give me just a second. I'm going to put that full screen for you.
Yeah.
All right, you're good. Go ahead and play it.
Yeah, so take a look at this. Look at that crossing the road. Look at that tornado. You can clearly see where that tornado is circulating on the ground. And take a look at all the debris. This is a very strong tornado. Even flipping that truck right there. So look at this tornado that was moving through Mississippi. This is a great video that I saw on Twitter just now.
And let me just say this. You saw at the beginning of the video how this tornado did not look like an actual tornado. It just looked like, pretty much just, a spinning cloud of dust. Not all tornadoes are going to have that black, grayish, circular funnel cloud look.
Yeah, they're not all going to have the condensation funnel within them, but it is classified as a tornado when the wind circulation is on the ground. So the condensation funnel does not have to be touching the ground to be considered a tornado. So this is a very large and obviously very destructive tornado. Just take a look at all the damage that it caused.
Thing again, we're looking at the radar. Crap. I forgot to switch to full screen. They could see it on your screen, but they couldn't see it on the full screen. Let me go back over. Still getting used to this. Okay. All right. Well, if you don't mind sharing that again, I'm so sorry.
Yep, that is okay. We'll just go through it once again. Take a look at that tornado right there. Where you see those darker colors, that's where you are seeing your ground circulation. But around it, it's dragging tons of dirt, dust, debris, and even flipping cars, knocking over those power poles, destroying everything in its path. So this is a large, destructive tornado. And look at that truck just driving off after being flipped by that tornado. That is honestly amazing that person was not injured within this tornado. I mean, that's actually incredible. I just noticed that.
Now, Will, let me ask you something. If me and you were storm chasing right now, and we pulled up to that, like I would say maybe a mile or so right ahead of us, what would be like your first thought?
I mean, honestly, you whenever you're storm chasing, you're going to have to keep your distance from these things. You don't want to put yourself in harm's way. It is incredible that this person driving this red truck was not injured in this. But whoever is recording this video in their car, they were at a good enough distance. I still think that they were playing with death by doing this, but I think they were a little too close, but they kept a far enough distance so they didn't get sucked up into the vortex. This car, this truck, this red truck right here, got sucked into the vortex, and that's why he actually did a flip. And I mean, I've said it several times. How is he still driving off after being flipped? It's incredible that he was not injured in that.
Like for
Because
me, if I was in that truck, I would probably be just staying on the road and like just shocked, like what the heck just happened to me?
yeah,
Like
definitely.
my car was
Because
just flipped over one time by a tornado. I mean, look at that. It's circling around. I mean,
yeah,
look at
definitely. I
that.
mean, all
Oh
the
my
debris just being
goodness.
drugged, those power poles right there being knocked off, and
And
and once again, it goes to show you how quick these things move. Tornadoes, you blink your eye and they're gone. I mean, you saw how quickly. You can't even see it now. This is a 30-second video. It goes from this side of the road all the way across the road. Even the power flashes, the truck being flipped, still amazes me. But it's across the road and you can't even see it in the video after about 15, 20 seconds. So it shows you how quickly they move. So you really don't have a lot of time to prepare for these tornadoes. So do not wait to the last minute after these tornado warnings are issued, because you don't want to be put in harm's way. And you know,
hey, Will, so you know we always talk about Mississippi State, right?
yeah.
Well, Mississippi State has damage from a tornado. It says no news of any excuse me, no news of any injuries, and police are on the scene. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to my Twitter, and we can see that. Where's my Twitter at?
Yeah, the weather prediction said as soon as I join, a car gets hit by a tornado. Yeah, I'm really surprised that person was not injured and they were able to drive off. I mean, if I go back to right here, you see this truck just driving off. Like, it's amazing that he wasn't injured within this tornado. So I am going to
Personally,
stop presenting my screen. So if you want to go back to the radar and finish your
personally for
thought.
me, I would probably be, watching it as it passes it, trying to still chase it, but still keeping that close
Yeah.
enough distance. So here is meteorologist Jamie Arnold. He works at WMBF here in South Carolina. This is what this is what Mississippi State Police are reporting. Look at this massive tree
Wow.
that was uprooted, just
Look at that.
absolutely incredible. Let me go back here.
Look at that. Wow.
Multiple tornado warnings. Look at this. This was a roof damage. I mean, this was probably a very probably a very sturdy roof made out of metal, and half of the roof is gone. This was in
Yeah.
Madison and Yazoo counties.
It just shows you how strong the wind is within these. So
Oh yeah.
definitely incredible.
This is in Goodman. I'm not exactly sure 100% where that is, but I mean, look at that right here. This is a gas station that has been heavily damaged. I mean, look at this. I mean, so much debris. Power lines are just, honestly,
Oh yeah.
like, just phone cords, long phone cords that are just dangling in the air.
Yeah.
Um, this is what I was seeing on Mississippi State right now. You can see police are there right now. Thank
Yeah, that
goodness this
tree got
big tree right here
uprooted.
didn't fall down.
That must have been caused by a straight line wind, because
Oh
it
yeah,
doesn't look like there's any damage anywhere else. So this must have been caused by straight line
right.
winds.
Weather prediction commented, how bad are these tornadoes getting? And was that a multi-vortex? Let me go ahead and go back over to the radar here.
Are you weather prediction? Are you talking about the tornado that we were showing in that video that I was showing? Are you talking about if that was a multi-vortex? Because if you were talking about that one, it doesn't look like it was a multi-vortex. It looks like it was one single vortex just spinning around right there. But it could have had multiple vortexes and we just couldn't see it based on the video from that person that we got in. So what it looks like, no, but there's always that possibility on that other side that we couldn't see.
And also, Will, I'm gonna go bring back my display capture here. Not with within these cells, tornadoes, hail and damaging wind aren't the only threats. We also have, very dangerous flooding here.
Yeah.
This is along Patton Drive. I believe this is in Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken. You can see so much flooding on the roadways. This is much more than just, puddles and ponding. This is, actual flooding that is happening. Honestly, Will, correct me if I'm wrong, though, I would say maybe a foot and a half, maybe to 2 feet.
Yeah, definitely, because they're dropping a bunch of rain with these. So wherever you see those darker reds and even pink that have been showing up, that's heavy rainfall. And like I said earlier, these cells were dropping about an inch of rain in 15 minutes, which is incredible, really, if you think about it, because that would be 4 inches in an hour. So that's incredible rainfall rates that we are seeing with these systems.
So I think we're still looking at one severe thunderstorm warning here in northern Alabama, one tornado warning. It looks like there's two combined into one, about to cross over the Mississippi-Alabama state line. And then you've got numerous flash flood warnings anywhere from south central Mississippi down there into eastern Louisiana. It looks like if I zoom in here, New Orleans, you're about to start getting some light to moderate rain, and then on the backside of this, that's going to be your heaviest rain. And then we've also got a severe thunderstorm warning here, along with hail here, just to the north of Biloxi, Pascagoula, and Gulfport. We do have hail just over a half an inch as well. I think my radar did finally just come up, so I'll go ahead and go back over to that here. And Will, are you looking at the live chat with his comments?
I am. I'm keeping up with the live chat. Let me take a look. I haven't checked.
So we're still seeing, a little bit of rotation within this cell right here. It's going to be right there. I think if I'm not wrong, our radar site is right here where my mouse is. So with that being said, you've got green winds blowing this way on the radar, and you've got red winds blowing away from the radar back in this direction. So exactly where the red and the green are touching each other, that's exactly where the atmosphere is starting to rotate. Thankfully, it does not look like there's any signs of a hook echo, and we usually look for hook echoes whenever we're talking about major mesocyclones that are producing extremely strong rotation. And it also does not look like there's any sort of debris showing up, so this is not a confirmed tornado at this point in time. It's just a radar indicated tornado, but still, it is a tornado warning, so it gets to the lowest level of the building you're currently in. Get away from mobile homes, get away from anything else like that, get into the most sturdy building get to the lowest level of that building, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, put helmets on your head, shoes on your feet, or any sort of footwear, and stay there until your local news or myself and Will tells you that it is safe to get out. Will, correct me if I'm wrong, this right here that's not currently warned right here, this looks like another area of rotation right there.
I do want to bring up a comment first real quick before I address that. Weather Prediction said in one of the damaged pictures he saw a roof of a gas station got taken off and a fan, which he doesn't even know where it came from. Oh, never mind. He said that was 2 years ago. So yeah, you really do have to look at the dates of these things. I mean, everyone makes mistakes, but you got to check the credibility of these things that you see online, because a lot of people like to post a bunch of bogus stuff just to get hype and views. So really have to take a look at the date of these things. But you are talking about the one right here just north of Laurel, right?
Yes, just to the north of Laurel, yes.
If you could zoom in just a little bit more. I did want to point something out. And yeah, it's actually better because you can see the red and the green touching. So you definitely have a gate to gate shear right there. So this is probably going to be warned here soon if the trend continues. Now, if the now maybe 1 or 2 frames further, which I think we just got a new
Wow,
one.
the green is getting brighter. Here you can.
Yeah,
This is the
so
last scan that we just got, and this is the brand new one.
yeah, brighter that the greens or the darker that the reds, brighter that the reds, does indicates that the winds are getting stronger than these, and you can definitely see some sort of a couplet there. So I wouldn't be surprised warned within the next maybe 2-3 minutes. But
And
it's
beside,
all
and
about
go ahead, go
it's
ahead.
all about the trends. So you have to really keep an eye on what it was doing in the previous frames, and you have to really judge: is it going to keep its strength? Is it going to weaken? So that's all the factors that go in and playing when you issue a warning.
And Will, correct me if I'm not mistaken. If I go to two panels here, I'll switch this back over to the velocity. You can kind of see how this one right here, maybe somewhat of a hook right on that tip right there trying to form. You can kind of see there's a little bit of a hook somewhere in this area, that little, point at the very, very top. It's trying to form into something, it looks like.
I really think that if there is a hook, it's a little bit more to the west and north. So right along with that road, I'm not sure which road that is, but right along that red road, if you go back to the reflectivity, that's where that hook is going to be. I think the road is really blocking where that hook kind of is. If you go back to the reflectivity on one of them, yeah, you can kind of see that hook just sitting right over. I think that's Sandersville.
Yeah,
So you can kind of see a little bit of a hook there, but it's not a textbook hook, if you know what I'm saying right there.
right.
And my camera is not on, so I don't know why I'm looking
And
at
I
the
don't think
camera.
the radar might be trying to pick up some debris. You can kind of see on the bottom right hand side of your screen right here. This is where our area of rotation is, and I'll put the dot back on here. And you can see, I'll put the dot back on right here. The dot is right over the area of rotation right there. There's the little bit of the hook that is trying to form, as Will was just mentioning. And somewhere right in here, you can see how, mostly it's all just purple up here. But right here where that area rotation is, it's picking up a little bit of yellow and just, colors that are non-purple. So I think radar is definitely picking up something. So we might be seeing a wall cloud come down that's kicking up dirt or dust or something. I don't think it's necessarily debris at this point, but it's, the radar is definitely picking up on something, that's for sure. 15 lightning strikes here with this purple strike within the last 5 minutes. Wow. Goodness gracious. How is this one looking?
And yeah, this lightning is definitely going to continue whenever it gets here. I didn't really mention the lightning potential, but yeah, there's definitely going to be plenty of lightning within these cells or whatever actually does come through our area. It could be a line of thunderstorms that the radar isn't really picking up right now just yet. But I really do think the radar is doing a good job at what we will see. I think we are going to see more of a broken line of thunderstorms moving through our area, but there is definitely going to be plenty of lightning within them once it does move in.
Right. Trying to see if there's any sort of other warnings coming up here on Twitter. I'm not seeing that as of right now. But I would like to mention, beside that one area of rotation, there is multiple other areas of rotation. So here's our main one right here around Sandersville. You've got another one right here, and then, Will, correct me if I'm wrong, just to the north of Waynesboro. So you've got 3 possible areas of rotation. You've got the first one right here, second one down here in Waynesboro, and then the third one right here in Sandersville. This one is probably going to go warned within any second now. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked. So, Will, is that correct on your part?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Especially that one that we were just taking a look at right by Sandersville. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm surprised that's not warned yet. And I mean, I'm not seeing my. Yeah, okay, good, perfect. You just put it up. Never mind, you took it away. I was looking at the correlation
Automatically.
coefficient for that. And yeah, I'm not seeing much in the way of non meteorological objects.
Right.
But there is maybe a little bit of a sign right where you see those yellows right there, but really not much in the way of debris there. I
Right.
think it's really just, I think it's mostly going to be a condensation funnel that hasn't touched the ground just yet. That's what we're seeing right here. I think that's why it's showing up on the radar.
And you can see here as I'm playing this out, this rotation I think is still getting its act together. This is what it was back near Remuno. It's maintained its act together, and now it's just to
Yeah.
the north of Sandersville now, and it really is getting a lot more good on better looking on the radar. Will, did you see the new comment from the Weather Prediction Center or Weather?
I did, yeah. I'm monitoring the comments right here on my right screen, so
Oh, good deal. I forget that you have multiple monitors to keep me jealous of.
I only got 5 of them, so
Only.
I'll
Let's go
I'll
back
have
into
7
this.
here
This
soon.
is the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center just posted this out right here. The severe threat continues. Let me go ahead and open this up in a new tab and then zoom this in for you to see a little bit better. The severe weather threat continues across the tornado watches. The best chance for tornadoes will be with this discrete line of storms that is ahead of the line currently. Let me actually go ahead and show you. Oh, I didn't switch over. Let me go over here. So here is the latest post from the National Weather Service. This severe threat continues across tornado watches. This tornado watch right here, the best chance for tornadoes will be with discrete storms that is ahead of the line. And actually, I'll go ahead and pull up my other radar, and you can just see here the watch that is currently up. So here in the purple, excuse me, the pink, that's where all the tornado watches are currently issued as of right now. So we've got one severe thunderstorm warning still there in northern Alabama. This tornado warning here that's right near Waynesboro. This is about to cross right over the Mississippi-Alabama border. We've got one severe thunderstorm warning here that is just to the north of Pascagoula, Biloxi, and Gulfport, Mississippi. I think we're actually seeing some hail with this as well. And then you've got numerous reports, or excuse me, numerous flash flood warnings right along this line right here. Columbia, New Orleans, Hattiesburg, you're all next for this line. I don't think Will, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like people, that are going to be affected by this main line right here are going to get a little bit more, when talking about the severe weather side than this line right here in the Boot Hill of Louisiana.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true. But I mean, whenever you're looking at that southern and like I would say like southwestern line right there, that's about to make its way through portions of New Orleans and places like that. I do think there is still a good threat of severe weather within those, just because of how close it is to the Gulf of Mexico. And it's getting a direct flow of moisture, and plus there's plenty of instability since that cold front's right there, and it's still within the warm sector. So I still think I wouldn't say that it's less than the main line, but I think the main line will have stronger thunderstorms within them. That's a better way to put that. I think
Yeah.
that main line that we were talking about, that's further to the north, it's going to have the stronger thunderstorms and longer lived tornadoes within them.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that southernmost line, I think it will still have some thunderstorms, maybe even a possibility of a few spin ups, but I think they will be on the weaker side if in comparison to the northernmost line.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I would like to mention, I'll go back over to GR2 here. That warning that we were keeping track of, the rotation has died down a pretty good amount. You're still seeing a little bit here, right near Heidelberg, if I'm saying that wrong. I'm definitely saying that wrong. Right in here, where the green is touching the red, we're still seeing a little bit of rotation right there. But I'll go back to previous scans, and you can see how it was much tighter right near Sandersville. Now it's kind of trying to die out just a little bit. So still seeing some sort of rotation, but I don't think it's really as tight as it was a couple of minutes ago. We're still seeing some very broad rotation right in here. It really isn't that strong at all. And then also some rotation right here as well, northeast of Waynesboro. So
And I did just want to mention, so my Twitter is Will's WX. His Twitter is Liam's WX. And I see weather prediction. He just keeps telling us what he's seeing. And if you want to add us at Twitter, or if you want to, if it's on Facebook, just send it to us on Facebook, and we will actually show these on here. And it's also a good thing to show and look at. Just not a good thing to look at, but it's a good representation of what these thunderstorms are producing. So yeah, if you want to just send those over to us, just do that, and we will take a look at it, and we will even show them on
And
stream.
also, you can email us your pictures. My email is 621ldk@gmail.com. No capitals, no spaces. Will's is willsweather25@gmail.com as well. Feel free to email us any pictures that you would like. You can DM us pictures on Twitter, Facebook Messenger, Instagram DMs, anything you would like. We have multiple social media platforms. So if you would like your picture to be shared here on live, we would be more than happy to share that with you. Once again, here's my Twitter right here, Liam's WX. Will's is Will's WX, so definitely be sure to follow us. I'm actually 2 followers away from 200, so I would definitely greatly appreciate it if I got over 200 within this live stream. I would greatly appreciate
And if you find something on Twitter and you send it to me, it might make me use Twitter a little bit more than I need to.
Yes.
Because I definitely don't use it as much as I should be using it. But like, I think if you sent me stuff on Twitter and added me on things, I think I would start to use it a little bit more. So
I think you're probably more on Facebook than I am, and
oh
I'm on
yeah,
Twitter more
Facebook
than
is
you
my
are.
main platform, and YouTube is yours. So
Yup. You know what? We haven't touched on this severe thunderstorm warning here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. Severe thunderstorm warning
Liam, you need
continues.
to
Oh, go
turn
ahead,
up your
Will.
volume.
What's that?
You need to turn up your volume. It says it's very low.
My volume. Oh, I don't know why.
So if you could turn the level of that up in your settings, maybe.
My mic is all the way up. Is that better?
If you can go to your computer settings, you can actually turn that up a little bit more. I don't know if you want to do that on stream or not, but you can.
I'm closer to my microphone now, so maybe that's better.
Let us know if that sounds better.
Yep. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Decatur, Alabama, Athens, and Hartselle, Alabama until 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time as well. Wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. Penny-sized hail possible. A tornado is also possible within this. And within this tornado warning, it says here that there are about 230,839 people roughly in this area, 68 schools, and 7 hospitals/medical centers. And that is actually this warning right here. As I switch over back to the velocity, this is a complete straight line wind event right here. You can see
It is not
area.
better. Sorry to interrupt you. The volume is not better. So if you can go to your settings and turn that up real quick, I can walk you through how to do that. I'm sure you know how to do that.
Will is
but
my
I can
tech
walk you
guy
through.
along with Mr. Lukey as well.
I'm pretty much your tech guy, yeah. That's.
Will I go into sound settings or what?
Yep, go to your sound settings.
Master volume is at 100.
You need to go to your microphone, so you need to find wherever your microphone is.
Yep, I'm right here.
You are using your camera microphone. You're not using your desk microphone.
Oh, maybe that's why.
So if you can go back to your settings.
I'm using this microphone, not my camera.
No, go back to your settings.
Okay.
Go back. No, hit the back button in your settings. Stay in your settings.
Oh.
You see right there, it says your input is your microphone. That's your camera. Switch it.
There we go.
There you go.
All right.
Let us know if that's better.
Yeah, that should be better. If not, I don't know exactly what's wrong with it. Whew, we've been on live for 1 hour and 18 minutes. I will actually be right back. Give me just a second here. Go ahead and start playing that.
So while Liam is gone, we are taking a look at this severe thunderstorm warning right here. You are seeing several spots where it's kind of bowing out or making that backwards C. That is where we are seeing stronger winds within this line of thunderstorms. So until Liam gets back, I am just going to leave you with this radar image, and there is a severe thunderstorm warning for this line of thunderstorms right in that yellow box. Before you unmute your mic, you're okay. So Liam is going to put me in full resolve those technical issues. So just waiting for him to put me in full screen and give me the all clear. It isn't muted. Oh, am I good? I'm good. So they can. And yeah, I did see that hasn't been tornado warned, or at least a watch. I think there was a watch in place. I'm not sure. There should still be a watch in place. I think it goes until 7 Central, but the watch isn't showing up on here. If you take a look, I can actually pull it up right here. I am just checking in with Liam. It is good, right? They can see what I'm doing. Correct? They can't see what I'm doing. All right, I'm good to go. So, see, there is a watch in place. It just wasn't showing up on our radar. But if we take a look, this yellow box right here is indicating a tornado watch. The orange boxes are indicating those severe thunderstorm warnings, and those red boxes, we only have one of those right now, thankfully, that is a tornado warning. So I am going to switch back over here, and we are going to take a look at this tornado warning. We do have a little bit of rotation that is showing up right here. We can see we have kind of an inflow and kind of an inflow from both sides. I mean, it's definitely very broad, but it's still something that we have to keep an eye on. And if we look off to your west, I believe this is the one that you were talking about. There is definitely rotation of some sort right here, but the National Weather Service still isn't seeing the information that they need to see in order to issue this tornado warning. And I mean, good, because I can hear myself in my ear, so I didn't know. Okay, but yeah, I believe this is the one that you are talking about. Tell me if I am good. Weather prediction. I believe this is the one that you're talking about right here. And if it is, there's obviously something that's there, but obviously the National Weather Service is not seeing what they need in order to issue this tornado warning. So let's take a look at this correlation coefficient.
Can somebody tell me if I'm good to go? Let me know.
I mean, yeah, I've heard you're good. So,
okay. All right. Let me.
Do you have your camera back up?
I'm working on it.
All right, so I'm gonna continue to do this. If you take a look at your correlation coefficient, yeah, there's something, a little bit of yellow, but I don't think there is a clear sign of any debris or non-meteorological objects, but there's definitely just a little bit of debris that is showing up right there. And this is a southern one too, because I mean, you can see there's clearly some sort of rotation there, but same deal, there's not much in the way of debris there. Maybe something, if I pull up my pen right real quick, maybe something right there, but I don't think it's enough to issue a warning just yet. And that's the same thing for the northern one that I was just taking a look at. I will go take a look at that hook I'll take a look at that hook right after I talk about this real quick. Again, I did want to bring up, you see there's some sort of rotation right here. If we take a look at a couple more things, there's no debris that's really being shown up, and there's definitely not a lot of upper level stuff that is there. But, you know, there's something, and it's very broad. And if we take a look at this hook, Liam's radar is better than my radar is. For some reason, my radar has difficulties, and we're working to fix those. So if you can take a look, he said that there is a hook, and there is a velocity signature there.
Well, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Trying to get everything back together here. I'm gonna resize your thing to make it go back to your I'll put my screen back up here for the radar.
Yeah, put your screen right back up there real quick. Because your radar is better than mine. Apparently there is a hook, and I'm not really going to be able to see it because my radar isn't the best.
Props for having.
And we are using GR Earth and GR Analyst. So I saw that question. We're using GR Earth and GR Analyst.
Okay, so they can see this, right? Okay. Alrighty, which cell is that?
I mean, there's multiple that you could be taking a look at, but go take a look at your comments. I don't have them pulled up right now. I'm looking at something else real quick.
What app are you using to track the weather? We are currently using, so this one right here.
I just answered that.
This is GR2 Analyst. You can either pay, I think, it's a free trial for 21 days, and then it's a $250 subscription just permanently for a lifetime. And then also this one that I'm also using as well. I'll pull that up right here once I get my stuff together. This one right here that I'm currently using, this one is called GR Earth. This one is not necessarily as far as like going in depth with supercells when it comes to like what we're trying to do. But it's still really really good. You can get satellite imagery like that once it tries to load itself. You can get SPC, multiple reports of stuff. Here's weather spotters. You can see multiple. There's hundreds of weather spotters and storm chasers within these cells. So this one right here, this is GR Earth, and this one right here that I'm about to pull up, this one is GR2 Analyst.
Okay, Liam, we appreciate the tour real quick. I do want you to zoom in on that severe thunderstorm warning just to the south near the Mobile site. So take a look at the Mobile radar. He says that there is some sort of a hook and a velocity signature, but I'm not seeing a lot of that. I mean, maybe something. You can kind of tell that there's some sort of rotation there, but I'm not seeing a clear velocity signature just because you're not seeing the red and the green touch. That's what we really have to look for. Even if there is like a circulation there or anything like that, like obviously there's a little bit of circulation, but it's not well-defined circulation, not enough for them to show a warning. And Liam, your volume is still apparently low. I'm sure you saw that. I can hear you. All right, he's trying a new microphone. He'll be back up momentarily. Yeah. Sounds good. Let me know whenever I'm good. All right. I mean, yeah, like I was saying, there's definitely a little bit of rotation or something right there, but I don't really think it's enough for the National Weather Service to upgrade this to a tornado warning. But I do think they will extend this severe thunderstorm warning out here just because we are still seeing those strong wind gusts, and there is plenty of reflectivity to back up this. So let me switch back to the reflectivity real quick. I mean, yeah, there's definitely, and yeah, I can see how you could confuse that with a hook, but that's not, we wouldn't define that as a hook just because there's not that rotation. So like, yeah, it kind of does look like a hook, but I really think that these are just two separate cells, one cell being up here and another cell trying to form right behind it. So I don't really think that this would be a hook echo. Guys, another way that you could tell if it was a hook echo is if the edge right here was rotating inwards. So, Ari? But yeah, I'm done with that. But yeah, I just don't really see a hook echo, but I do see how he could confuse that for a hook. Because yeah, it does kind of look like a hook if you take a look at it. But I really think that this is just one cell up to the north, one smaller cell down to the southern parts of this. So I really don't think that this is a hook echo. Take it away, Liam, if your volume is permitting, or I can still keep talking. All right, Liam is still trying to fix his microphone, so I am actually going to move further to the north. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning, and good Lord, you can see this ball right there. And it does actually look like it has some sort of rotation with it too. So let me switch radar sites. We're just going to bounce around just a little bit to see which one gives us the best image of it. But yeah, if we wanted to say that this was a hook, I could see how you could say it is a hook. But if we take a look at the velocity, yeah, some broad rotation within it. But let's switch to another radar and see if this backs us up. Because obviously I don't forecast for this area typically. I am just helping Liam out with this because it's definitely easier to have two people whenever you're doing live coverage of this.
Okay. Y'all let me know if that's better. I'm gonna try and get as close to the microphone as I can without.
Yeah, let us know if you can hear Liam. But yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this real quick. I mean, yeah, I've switched to a different radar, and yeah, there's maybe something to back us up. But I think this is more severe warned because you can see it's more straight line wind within this. But if you take a look at the reflectivity, yeah, it's very heavy rainfall right there. Even some hail is showing up. This hail size does give it about a 0.45, so that's almost a half an inch. But yeah, this is something that we have to keep an eye on. If we read the warning, it does say the hail size, the max hail size is 3/4 of an inch, and the wind gusts are 60 miles per hour. So yeah, that is severe warning, and I don't see anything about a tornado possible. So the National Weather Service obviously does not think that this will produce a tornado. But with everything else, all other severe thunderstorm warnings that we have seen today, we still have to keep an eye on it because any one of these cells that we see can produce a tornado. And I've said that several times, and it really needs to be stressed because any one of these can produce a tornado. And even further in front of this line of thunderstorms, we are seeing just little tiny cells, you can call them. They're just little tiny cells. And yeah, they're definitely, we have even seen a couple of tornado warnings from these smaller cells. Yep, I see that. You good? Even these cells that are in front of this line, here's the main line right here. We are seeing some cells right here, like right around Montgomery right now. These 3 cells, we have to even watch those because there's such an unstable atmosphere that even these can produce a tornado. So we definitely need to keep an eye on anything and everything within this system because that's still within that warm sector that we were talking about. So anything we have to keep an eye on. And we actually do have a brand new tornado warning on that cell that we were keeping an eye on earlier. And just another brand new tornado warning just popped up. So let me switch back to a radar site that is close to here. I'm going to use this one. Wait for this to load in. It shouldn't take too terribly long to load in. But yeah, you see we got the reflectivity. Heavy rainfall is definitely showing up. Let's take a look at our velocity. Oh yeah, right here you can see clear sign of rotation. And what I was talking about earlier, you have to have the red and the green touching. Yeah, you clearly see the red and the green touching right here. But another thing that says this could be a tornado is you see them wrapping around each other. So they're not just touching in a straight line like this. You can kind of see the red is starting to wrap around the green right here. So that's a clear sign that we are seeing some sort of rotation. So that is one tornado warning that we are keeping an eye on. And this tornado warning does go until, let me read the warning, it goes until 6:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So that is coming up here in about 42 minutes. And it is radar indicated, so this one was not called in as an observed tornado. But yeah, just to the southwest, you are seeing another clear sign of rotation. But like I was saying, you're not really seeing them wrap around each other per se, but you are seeing the winds kind of going opposite directions. It's kind of going in a more straight line in opposite directions. So you really want to keep an eye on anything that go opposite directions or start to wrap around. Oh, I actually did hit my microphone. I'm sorry. So you really have to keep an eye on anything like whenever they wrap around each other. Yep. I don't know what happened. Yep. See, we're just having difficulties all around. But yeah, there's you like I was saying, you have to keep an eye on anything going opposite directions like this one, or wrapping around each other like this one further to the north right here. So you would just have to keep an eye on both of those things. So I am going to throw it back over to Liam. I think he has something on Twitter that he wants to show you. I think let's test out his microphone and all. Let's see how that's going for him.
Okay, let's see after all that if things are somewhat working again. Huge shout out to Will for taking that over for me. He's the best partner I could ever ask for. He has by far the best studio I've ever seen. And he's a great partner. Will, I cannot thank you enough for all the hard work you do and everything else you helped me out with. So let me go back over to my radar. So yes, as he was just saying, here's our two current tornado warnings. There is a pretty good area rotation within both of these. Here's our
Liam.
first one right here within this
Liam.
warning, and then you've also got this one right here as well. So these are two very dangerous situations that you definitely need to keep a very close
Liam.
eye on. As far as looking at
Liam.
the debris ball, I think we actually may have some sorts of debris showing up kind of with this one. You can clearly see. I'm going to go back over to my radar.
Liam.
Yes.
All right. I fixed my microphone. I think that's better.
Just watch
Maybe.
out for that long little cord you got there.
No, I'm actually using my desk microphone this time.
Oh, well, that's the one I'm using too. I don't know why it's giving me problems.
I knocked it off. Like, you know, everyone talks with their hands, so I accidentally hit it whenever I was doing that. I need to quit doing that.
Oh, well, you never know. So, yes, as I was just saying, so here's your area of rotation right here, and you can also see that somewhere in this area, that's where the rotation is. The radar is picking up something, excuse me, that is unmeteorological. Considering, you know, all this right here is just purple, and you get into that circle area, excuse me, like I was just telling you, and you're seeing a little bit more yellow there in the radar, and that could indicate some sort of, something that's, the radar is picking up, which is not what we want to see. Let me go back over here. Also,
and I'm not sure if my camera's pulled up or not.
Huh?
I'm not sure if my camera's pulled up or not because I did have to restart the Google Meet that we are in.
Let
So
me see here. I gotta switch it back over. You should be good. Let me go see. Yep.
I'm wearing the nice suit and tie. You know, I gotta so I'm not just wearing this for nothing.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
All right, so yeah, I did just see this comment pop up. It says it looks like an EF1. We really want to refrain from doing that, like classifying it before it's over, because the way that these are classified, they are actually classified after the fact based on the damage. So we really do want to refrain from saying it's an EF1 because this could actually end up being an EF0. It could be an EF5 tornado, which we haven't seen in several years, which is a good thing because that would mean the winds would have to be over 200 miles an hour, which is incredible.
Right.
But luckily, we haven't seen that.
I'm trying to get the best.
And we are good with sound. It says everyone sounds so much louder, and we are great. So
perfect.
Let's continue on.
Good deal.
So now that we got those technical issues straightened up, and we did clear up why we want to refrain from classifying a tornado before,
And also, once again, if you're brand new to the channel, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you would also like to subscribe to Will's channel, go to my website at liamsweather.org, go to my team page, and then as soon as you get there, you're going to see both mine and Will's logo. Click on the button that says his YouTube channel, and it'll take you directly to his channel. Definitely subscribe. He, honestly, I have to say, is better than me at forecasting the stuff that I am. He is a little bit more better with the models, and also is a little bit more on the sciencey side than I am. And he does an amazing job in front of the camera, probably better than I do, especially in front of the green screen. So definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button for his channel. Follow him on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole 9 yards. He is much better than I am, honestly, I have to say, at this stuff. We're both very reliable sources for weather, but if you want local weather for South and North Carolina, go to Will.
But if we do say that, it doesn't come without good mentorship. I've had Adam Clark, Josh Knight, Sonia Stevens, Dave Williams, and all these other meteorologists from around here helping me out with this. And even Andre Brooks over in North Platte, Nebraska, just helping me out with everything. So I do have to give kudos to them.
Yeah, and also I would like to mention that I am actually currently interning at WPDE ABC 15 with Chief Meteorologist Ed Piotrowski. So I'm interning with Ed. He's interning with Josh Knight. The four of us together are absolutely incredible. Speaking of that, me and Will be heading to our internships tomorrow. As this line does come through, we'll be posting multiple updates on Facebook. I'll be doing multiple videos, multiple Facebook lives probably. So for those of you who are in my local area, just be sure that you're on your phone and watching our channels, hour by hour, especially overnight tomorrow night into the very early morning hours on Thursday. As that line will be coming through, we'll be with you every single step of the way to make sure that you, your family members, coworkers, friends, the whole 9 yards, everybody knows what's going on, and you can
Yeah,
stay safe.
and I'll definitely be watching that too. I'll be over at Watch Fox with Josh Knight as well. So if anything severe does happen, I will be there with him. So be sure to take a look at Watch Fox tomorrow. I'm not really sure how much live coverage I will be able to do just because I will be helping him out mainly.
Right.
But keep an eye on Watch Fox tomorrow in case anything in the Midlands of South Carolina does move through, because he will have to go on air and cover those. And same thing with Ed Piotrowski. If anything moves through the PD, he will have to go on air and actually cover that as well. So keep an eye on WPDE or Watch Fox if you are in the Midlands.
Right, and Will, just I know it's been a while since you did that Futurecast or that model show on GR Earth. I don't know if we've gotten anybody new on the stream from our local area. So if you wouldn't mind pulling back up GR Earth and pulling back up the HRRR model and showing that Futurecast as it comes into our area, that would be great.
Oh, yeah, I can do that real quick. I do want to point out something real quick before I do that. We still have these 2 tornado warnings.
Yes.
That we are keeping an eye on. It does look like, especially the one on the eastern side is actually starting to strengthen a little bit. And yeah, just like what he was saying, the one on the more southern side does look like it is starting to become more straight line winds. So it does look like it is starting to broaden out, if we will say that. So I am going to present my screen. And if Liam can pull that up in full screen, that would be great.
Yes, let me go ahead and do that.
And I will need him to present his screen whenever we're done with this.
Oopsies. Okay, let me make sure that's good to go. Okay, so your screen right now is on GR Earth. GR Analyst.
Yes, it is. I did want to show a couple of little rotation signatures that we have.
You're on full screen, I believe. Let me just make sure. Yes, you are good to go.
All right, so yeah, we see clear rotation within this, and if we play the previous frames, yeah, we can see definitely rotation within this cell right here. And they actually did just clip this tornado warning. Yeah, while it doesn't look as well defined as it did in the previous frame, it is definitely starting to straighten out. So the tornado isn't as apparent, but it is still there. A little bit of rotation is still there. Also, the one that is literally parallel to it, just to the east of it, does look like a little of rotation just above Battles and Buckatana, even moving in towards that warned box. So I do think they won't trim this one just because it does look like another possible tornado is starting to move into the area. So 2, 3, 4, even this one off to the north, it does look like some broad rotation. It was warned. You see this little red triangle box right here. It just got cut off because, yeah, it was moving into another tornado warned area, and it doesn't look like this one is losing much of its steam. It does still like.
I'm trying to get your scene full screen so that way I don't have to keep worrying about. I'm trying to get my radar set up better, and I'm keep going back over to the scene and getting out of your
It does look like I am full screen right now, though.
Let me go ahead and put you.
I still have your stream pulled up, and it looks like I am full screen.
Putting you full screen on here so that way I don't have to worry about when I'm displaying my screen that the radar is getting in the way of your little presentation. Okay, so you should be.
Oh no, it's okay.
Okay, you should be good to go now. Yep, you're good.
But yeah, like I was saying, we have 4 spots right here that we are keeping an eye out for tornadoes. This one was previously warned. That is to our furthest north, just to the west of Butler. And it doesn't look like it's losing much of its steam, but it does look like it is maintaining its strength. It'll eventually start to weaken and move out. They might issue another tornado warning just to cover their bases there, but I don't think they will. But our main are just to the south of Gilbertstown. So you see a very large area of broad rotation because it is starting to weaken just a little bit. but it does look like there is some sort of a tornado still there. Also, that one that is to the south and directly parallel to the west, there is another one just to the east of Clara. So a couple of rotation signatures there. And then even further to the south, I am going to switch radar sites because this one does not look like it covers the one near just to the south right there, waiting for this to load in. And it does look like they lost me on your live stream. Oh yeah, there's definitely some sort of, thanks for pointing that out, weather prediction. There is some sort of rotation right there, and definitely some hail that is being indicated within this. So hail, I didn't mention this earlier, and I'm not sure if Liam did mention this either, but hail is another sign that a tornado could be forming because you usually get hail on the leading or back edge of a tornado. So hail is definitely a clear sign, especially whenever you see a hook echo, which I don't have really a hook echo to show you, but I can draw it out real quick. If you have this hook that does look like this, you are typically going to get some hail up here towards the northern part of that hook. That's why you usually see your darker colors right there as well. So that's another sign that we could be seeing a tornado, but definitely there is some rotation right here just to the west of Vinegar Bend, Deer Park, and to the south of Fruitdale and Yellow Pine and State Line. So, yeah, there's definitely some sort of rotation right there. Taking a look at your correlation coefficient. Switch back to my cursor so I can do that. Yeah, maybe some debris within there, but it still doesn't look like it doesn't look like there's a lot of debris within there, but where you're seeing these darker yellow colors and even some of those green colors right here, just in this general area, there could be some debris flying around in there, but I don't really think that this is good evidence of a tornado. I think the best evidence that we have of a possible tornado in this area is going to be your velocity. So switching back to that one more time. Oh yeah, there's definitely some sort of rotation within this cell right here. So moving further to the north, oh yeah, there's still rotation right here, just to the, I'll say to the northwest of Silas, to the south of Gilberttown and Melvin and Needham. So there is still a tornado warning for this area, and they did not trim this box like they usually do because there is another possible tornado moving into the same box. And just to the west of it, there is some broad rotation, but I think that this warning will be allowed to expire here soon. They did issue this warning to last until 6:45, but I think they will be canceling that one here very soon because the tornado does not look as apparent. But really keeping an eye on the one just to the northwest of Silas and to the one that is south of Denham and making its way towards the western part of Silas. So there is, yeah, there's those four areas that we are keeping an eye on for rotation and one dying area of rotation. And those are only two tornado warnings right now. I do think that the one that is further to the south of these boxes will be warned here very soon because there is pretty clear evidence of a tornado. But now let's go take a look at this severe thunderstorm warning that is just off to the north. So let me switch radar sites here and let that load in. So this is just to the west of Huntsville. So it is for parts of Priceville and all those areas. So lots of villes over in Mississippi and Alabama, I am coming to realize. So if you live here, tell me if you know why. That's just very interesting to me. But taking a look at your velocity, not much in the way of rotation here, maybe some broad rotation here, but yeah, we have been saying this the entire time. Any of these severe thunderstorm warnings can drop a tornado, and this one was actually allowed to expire, so they did move this one. But yeah, it does look like there is a severe thunderstorm warning right here, and they did cancel that. So taking a look at that. But yeah, regardless of there being a severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning or not, there is still some locally heavy rainfall here. You can see those dark red colors indicating some heavy rainfall. They're just getting pounded with that rain. And like I said earlier, if you missed it, there have been areas that dropped an inch of rain in 15 minutes. That's how heavy this rain is. So zooming out and taking a look at the wider picture, I am actually going to switch back to this radar to do so. take off the model overlay. Yeah, so just taking a look at the wider picture that is going to load in gradually. Let me actually turn off some of these storm reports as well, if I can. But yeah, there's definitely some heavy rain and some strong winds within this, and even those like little backwards C shapes. Those are, we call those bow echoes. Those are actually indicate areas of strong wind. And take a look at this. This is actually interesting. You can see how some of these little single cells are kind of rotating almost, and that's why we are seeing so many spin ups occur. But when you can't issue a tornado warning for all of these, because that would one of the problems today, let me actually start off like this. One of the problems today is people think that if a tornado warning is issued, that they are in the clear because they issue tornado warnings so much. And that's not the case. We only issue tornado warnings if a tornado is likely occurring in the area. So you've seen those several models that me and Liam have been looking at this entire time. The several models. Let me actually pull this. Oh, you're seeing all my stuff, and it doesn't matter. I haven't got nothing to hide. Actually, good advertisement as well. So go check out Will's Weather on Facebook or Twitter and YouTube even. I will be posting my forecast here soon. I just did that earlier, but I've been doing this live stream, so I haven't been able to post it just yet. But back to what I was saying, you've seen all these different radar images that we've been looking at. So we've been looking at the reflectivity, the velocity, the correlation coefficient. We even have to look at several other things as well. But all of these go into issuing a tornado warning, a severe thunderstorm warning, flash flood warning, even flash flood warning, yes, because we have to know how much rainfall is likely occurring in an area and at what rate. So definitely several radar models that we have to take a look at whenever we issue a tornado, severe thunderstorm, or flash flood warning. So don't let a tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning, flash flood warning, don't let those fool you in saying, oh, they're just issuing that to cover their tails. No, that's not the case. They're issuing that because it is likely occurring within that warning box. So I think Liam is back. Does he have anything that he wants to say?
Not necessarily. No, you're doing a great job. Can you bring up that HRRR model and show the feature radar when it goes into our
I
area?
can. Yeah, I forgot if you wanted me to do that because there
No, you're
was
good.
several areas of rotation that we did have to talk about before
Yeah,
I
no,
did
you're
that.
good.
But yeah, let's bring up the HRRR model real quick and talk about what's going to happen here at home. So taking a look at the HRRR model, let me get everything pulled up real quick. Let's see. So I am going to have to use this one because that is going to give us the longest range. So if this can load in, that would be great. Model fill. Here we go. So you do see this line of thunderstorms. There's a line extending from Memphis all the way even into the Gulf of Mexico. This is going to continue to push off to the east and through Birmingham, Atlanta, Macon, and we are already seeing this move through portions of Birmingham now. So we are going to continue to watch this, but this is at about 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. So you are starting to see those rain showers move in, and even some thunderstorms start to work their way into the area as well. And I did not see in my image on the YouTube. Any word on that, Liam?
Yes, I'm sorry. Okay.
There we go.
Back on.
I am back up. So yeah, we are taking a look at this showers and thunderstorms. We have some thunderstorms in these darker yellow and orange and even red colors further to our south. This is going to Thank you. I do appreciate that. But by about 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we are taking a look at some thunderstorms, even stronger thunderstorms, because we are starting to gain the heating of the day. So that's going to continue moving through portions of the central Midlands and starting to work its way towards the eastern Midlands, PD, and Low Country. So really at about 4 o'clock, between 2 and 7 o'clock in the evening. I will say that's where we are really watching for the strongest of thunderstorms, because that's when we have the most heating from the sunshine and the most heating of the day. So by about 8 o'clock, this is going to start to die out just a little bit, lose its instability, lose the convection, but we are still seeing a few strong thunderstorms near Myrtle Beach, Georgetown, Charleston, and even down towards Hilton Head and Savannah. And we are still seeing a few showers, and even a few rumbles of thunder are not out of the question on the backside of this system as well. But from that south to north flow, it's going to drag more moisture into the area, and we are still going to see showers and even a few rumbles of thunder not out of the question, even as we head into your Thursday morning and as we head into your Thursday afternoon. Much of the thunderstorm activity is off the coast and over the ocean, and we are still dealing with a few showers here across the Midlands, Low Country, and PD especially, but I did keep a small chance of a shower on my forecast in the upstate as well, just because there is still a little bit of model uncertainty between all the models that I have to look at to make up that forecast. So throwing it back over to Liam, let him talk a little bit.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Will, for that. That was incredible. I really do appreciate you helping me out with that.
And if you could present your screen, that would be great as well, so I can see what you're looking at.
How do I do this? There we go. There we go. Alrighty. Well, you should be good to go. Are you good now? Okay. Alrighty. So, this system...
Yep, I can see you.
Okay. So, this cell I've been watching while Will was talking, and, this cell is looking to be very, very impressive on the radar imagery. Let me go ahead and zoom out before I show you this. Here is the radar site right here in Mobile, Alabama. So with that being said, let me zoom back in here. You've got the greens rotating back in the direction of the radar, and winds blowing back in the opposite direction of the radar. So right where the green is mixing with the red, right over Gilbert Town. I think that's, yep, right over Gilbert Town. That is exactly where we do have that area of rotation on the radar as of right now. There's no sign of really any hook echo, which is a good thing. And there's really no signs of any debris as well, so that's a good thing as well. But still, it's obviously something to keep in mind. If you are in this 20 to 1 area, please get to the lowest floor of the building that you're currently in. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible as well. And also, you just want to be difficult, don't you? Of course you do. There we go. I think this is the best run. Let me see how far this goes out. Wait for this radar to load here. So Will showed you more of an in-depth look at South Carolina in general, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how this line of storms will be, playing out over the next several hours or so. So I think this is pretty much exactly where we're at. Whoa, that's not where we're at. I would say probably this is where we're at right now on this timeline. So as we head overnight tonight, we're still looking at places like Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Montgomery down towards Pensacola, and then we've also got a secondary line. So this is going to be the first line right here, and you've got your secondary line that will bring another round of showers and storms, places like Gulfport, Mobile, New Orleans, and then the Boot Hill there in Louisiana as well. You can notice how, this is what the line of storms is currently looking like. It looks much better on the radar imagery, but as you progress over the next several hours, it definitely does lose, that, amazing squall-like look. So, and that's just because of the amount of instability in daytime heating. As the sun goes down, the earth and the atmosphere is not as warm and unstable as it was when the sun is, as it was when the sun was up. And that's why, we had all those warnings out today, and that's why we had, the amount of severe action that we did have today. I'm not saying that we're not going to have that over the course of the night tonight. I know we will, but I think that the threat will be somewhat lower over the course of the night tonight as we're getting the sun to go below the horizon. As you head into your day tomorrow, now we're going to be talking about places in eastern Alabama, central Georgia. I was about to say Atlanta, central Georgia. Yes, in Atlanta. There you go. There you go. And you can see just, I mean, this squall line is nowhere near as well formed as it was, say back here in Mississippi and Louisiana. You can see how well formed it is here, right along the border of Mississippi and Alabama. You progress into the day tomorrow, it's a clear change in the amount of instability and lift. Now, I do want to mention that the showers and storms that's going to be happening here in northeastern Alabama and northern Georgia. I don't think it's probably going to be as big of a deal as this line is going to be coming across the panhandle of Florida. There's gonna be a lot more instability, wind shear, and lift coming north from the Gulf of Mexico, and that will lead to the possibility of more strong to severe storms anywhere from Pensacola to Panama City, eastward to Tallahassee, and multiple other cities right along here, the Big Bend of Florida, and right along the Panhandle as well. Not saying that you couldn't get more severe weather here in north central Georgia. You probably will, but I think that the severe weather threat is going to be more dangerous as you head across the panhandle of Florida as well. And then eventually you get into the Carolinas as you head over the course of the afternoon tomorrow. I really think that we're probably just going to be starting to see, the scattered showers throughout, I would say, the mid to late afternoon. And then eventually overnight tomorrow night is when we get our second surge of moisture to come up. So the way I'm looking at this model is right here. This is going to be our main line that comes through here. Right here. Let me get my pen out again. Where's my pen? Here it is. So here is going to be the first line that comes through. This will bring widespread showers to much of the upstate and the Midlands, places like Columbia, where Will is located, and several other counties as well. But then you get this line to come through. This is what is going to start to bring that severe weather to the Panhandle of Florida. This is eventually going to transition itself to the northeast, and that will come overnight on Wednesday, and that will bring us our shot for severe storms. So you can see as I progress this will bring us likely scattered showers and storms, and then eventually we get that surge of moisture to come to the north, and then that is what is going to fire up all these severe storms across much of this area. So it's kind of like two different main components. You get the first line to come through, that's mostly just scattered showers, and then you get the second line to come through that has more moisture and instability on it coming from the Gulf of Mexico, and that's what leads to a little better shot for severe weather. Our chance for severe weather isn't really all that high in the Carolinas. It's only a slight, but obviously it's still a threat for severe weather.
And I do want you to keep in mind, even a slight risk of severe weather could mean tornadoes, large hail, and gusty wind, because all of those are still in the forecast for tomorrow. So even though it's a slight risk and not a moderate risk like we are seeing towards our west, that does not mean we are out. We are in the clear. That does not mean that we are in the clear.
I forgot to switch over my thing. I've been showing the GR analyst the whole time. Oh my goodness gracious. I am so sorry. Okay, let me play this back. I am so sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still trying to figure out this scene switching and everything else like that. Let's play this out again, shall we? Yes, we shall. I apologize. So here's what the line is currently doing right now. Obviously, it is still very, nice looking here on the radar. You will notice that as this line gets into Alabama, the squall line is going to kind of form into two different separate lines. You've got your first one right here that's going to hit Birmingham and Mobile, Alabama first, and then you get the second one to come through, and that's going to be bringing more scattered showers and rain to places like Hattiesburg, Gulfport, New Orleans, down into the Boot Hill of Louisiana as well. Over the course of the night tonight, it's going to be eventually transitioning itself into eastern Alabama and western Georgia as you're heading out the door tomorrow morning. Now, I would like to mention that by the time we get to tomorrow morning, there's still going to be plenty of lift and instability and wind shear coming off of the Gulf of Mexico, and that will lead to more scattered showers and even severe storms coming off of the Gulf Coast here. Let me zoom in a little bit more here so we can get a better look here. So Pensacola, Panama City Beach, Tallahassee, up into Enterprise and southwestern Georgia here. As this line of storms does come through, I think the more south you are and the closer to the Gulf of Mexico you are, the better shot you have of having that severe threat, especially within this line right here. I wouldn't be surprised if special marine statements are issued God forbid we do see any water spouts or rotation, signatures that start over the water and eventually transition over to tornadoes as you get over the land. And not to mention, before this squall line gets here, we're going to be seeing multiple rounds of scattered showers and storms here across much of northeastern Alabama and central and northern portions of Georgia. I just think that the best shot for severe weather is definitely going to be with this line of storms right here that will be coming in off the water as well. And then eventually we get into the Carolinas. It's going to be mostly starting off as showers here with this main line coming through. This is going to be basically the first line to come through. And then you get this moisture flow with these particular storms back down here. And that will lead, and that would eventually transition itself into coastal Carolinas, and that will lead to the best shot for severe weather. So over the course of the afternoon tomorrow, just expect mostly cloudy skies, possibly a scattered shower, or even a thunderstorm here across the upstate and Midlands. Really nothing here along the coastline, but that is subject to change. Let me go ahead and zoom in on here. And you can see as you head over the course of the night, tomorrow night, we start off again with just mostly scattered showers, maybe even a couple of storms as well. And then eventually we do get that extra moisture surge to come up, and that will lead to much better shot of seeing those strong to severe storms. And that is why the Storm Prediction Center has issued that slight risk as well. So from going from Lancaster down to Walterboro, scattered showers anywhere from, I would say, Charleston upwards to Myrtle Beach as well. And then eventually continuing over the course of the night as well. Here we go. Still seeing that chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms here. As you can tell, the squall line does not look nearly as impressive as it did, say currently right now in Alabama and Mississippi. And that is just because of the lack of wind shear, lift, and instability in the atmosphere. You have to have all those components in order for severe storms to form. And over the course of the last several days, we've been seeing so many different components rising north from the Gulf of Mexico, and that is why there was such a high chance for severe weather across Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Now, not to say as it transitions to the east, it's still going to have just enough instability, lift, and moisture for severe storms to fire up, but obviously, the amount of instability and lift in the atmosphere is going to be nowhere near as high as where it currently is right now along the Gulf of Mexico as well. And then eventually this will lead into your early afternoon on Thursday as well. The severe threat will most likely be over as you're heading out the door Thursday morning, but you're still seeing that very good shot for scattered showers as well. I just think the best shot for severe weather is going to be overnight on overnight on Wednesday and into your Thursday morning as well. And then this front kind of really stalls out and just brings us scattered showers really throughout the whole entire day on Thursday. Once again, here's our squall line right here, well off the coast. This is where all the severe weather is going to be, thankfully well off the coast, and we're just left with mostly scattered showers here across much of the coastal Carolinas as well. If you live west of the I-95 corridor, I think that the rain will be over by this time period. It's mostly just going to be a eastern, South, and North Carolina threat when it comes to rain, but thankfully I think the only time we should be seeing severe weather is going to be overnight on Wednesday into the very early morning hours on Thursday. So I know I just said a lot of information, but to put everything in a nutshell for you, rain starts tomorrow afternoon, continues over the night tomorrow night. The first line will come through. That will bring us our first shot of rain, and then overnight on Wednesday, overnight tomorrow night into your Thursday morning, we do get that second line to come through. That is when our severe weather threat will come. It'll be out of here by, I would say, maybe 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then we're just left with rain throughout most of the day. So if you're wondering when to be the most weather aware, make sure that you have all your alerts turned on your phone sometime over the night tomorrow night and into your Thursday as well. So I know I just said a lot, but that's just basically to put it in a nutshell for you, and I would think that Will would agree on that part as well.
And yeah, Liam definitely went into more depth than he really needed to, but I think it's a good representation and a good, hey, this is exactly what's happening, so that's a good thing.
And not to mention, this storm is just absolutely massive. Here's your upper level low here, across somewhere here in the northeast. Here's your cold front right here. This storm system is just absolutely massive, just to say the least. Trying to see if I can get this thing to load up fully here.
But yeah, he did a great job of explaining that, and everything. So
Thank you.
kudos to you. And we are really not seeing a lot of activity anymore. I think that tornado warning is even about to expire here in about 20 minutes. So definitely not as much instability. And that's a good thing because we are losing the heating of the day. And yeah, we are gradually going to start to see these thunderstorms
Yeah.
lose their steam. However, they're not going to completely fizzle out because this line is still very strong. Like you were saying, very strong upper level low that's going to
Right.
continue moving towards the
And
east. So, I mean, anytime now we can honestly really hop off of here just because of the lack of severe activity that is actually happening. I think Liam had another thought that he wanted to go into before
right,
we
and I
ended
would just
this.
like to
So, go ahead.
mention, this is basically your CAPE levels. In case you're wondering what CAPE stands for, CAPE stands for Convective Available Potential Energy, basically telling us how much energy is in the atmosphere for thunderstorms to form. Obviously, we have the most amount of CAPE right here, exactly where we're seeing the current severe weather threat. But I would like to play this out and just show you exactly how once we get into Georgia, Florida, and the Carolinas, there is hardly anywhere near as much CAPE as there currently is. I mean, you can clearly see, this is where we are currently right now on the Gulf of Mexico. There is plenty of instability and energy for thunderstorms to form right along the boot hill of Louisiana and south central portions of Mississippi, and then eventually you get into the Carolinas, and those CAPE levels are significantly lower once that makes up its mind and starts to load for us. Now, I would like to mention there's going to be, you can see this, and, there is still a little bit of cape, and this is why we do have that severe threat overnight on Wednesday into your Thursday morning. But just please know that the amount of cape that we have here in the Carolinas is going to be nowhere near as much as, let's say, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi has had over the course of the last 36 to 48 hours. So,
And yeah, and that's not the only factor that we really have to account into this. I don't think Liam really wants to show this on here because, it's not really something that's meant to be shown. Some of the other, like, YouTube or TikTok, people do show this whenever they're doing the weather, or even on Facebook, you can see some of the actual meteorologists showing this. It's called a skew plot. It's a sounding that really shows us what's going on in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and it really shows us how wind changes with height. So once again, it's called a skew plot. And I was taking a look at some of those earlier, and it does show that we are going to have some wind shear available within this. And I think he is
right.
trying to pull this up actually.
I'm actually gonna just building on. I know this is off topic, but I would like to just show you the significant tornado parameter, and just relate to what it currently looks like right now, just to try and put your nerves a little bit more at ease. Will, which model do you think would be the best to look at the significant tornado parameter? The H triple R, the
H
NAM?
triple R
Okay. Would it
or
be the 3
NAM.
kilometer or 15?
3.
3. Okay.
Anything lower is better. So 3 kilometer NAM, 3 kilometer H triple R. Those are always going to be your better
Gotcha.
resolution models.
Once again, Will is, a little bit better with the models than I am, so he's a very valuable asset to, these live streams, and I'm very happy we could have him on. So, I would like to mention right here, so obviously right here, this is where we had the best shot for severe weather over the course of the night tonight. Tornado parameters at a 5, 6, out of 7, and that's why the Storm Prediction Center issued such a high risk for severe weather over the course of the day today. Now, take what you see right here on your screen, and I'm going to put this over the southeast. Let me actually go to the state of South Carolina here. And you can see right here, this is going to be your timestamp up here. And you can see as you get, I would say, maybe into around, Wednesday, possibly some, ones and twos here across Georgia. Nothing like what we saw, with, Alabama and Georgia and everything else like that. I wish this would extend into Thursday. Do you think the GFS model would show that into Thursday, Will?
Yeah, but I do think that one is going to be a little more biased than the H triple R or stuff like that. So if you can get the H triple R, that would be best.
Yeah, it's only going out to, let's see here.
Go back to the 18Z run.
This one? Oh.
your 0Z, 6Z, 12Z, and 18Z on any model. This goes for any model.
You want me to
Those
go
are
to
going to be
18Z?
your full runs.
Okay.
So yeah, go back to 18Z and then we'll go out a little bit further.
There we go. Okay. So here we go. This is going to be tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. You can see that most areas are going to be in that 2 to 3 range, which I would honestly say is about maybe a 20 to 30% chance of seeing a tornado. Don't get too alarmed by these, pockets of red. The whole entire area, I would say, has about maybe a 15%, 15 to 20% chance of seeing a tornado throughout this whole entire event. Obviously, it's not 0, but it's not 100, so it's definitely something just to keep an eye on. That threat will eventually shift into the eastern Carolinas, I would say, probably overnight on Wednesday, as we get that main line to come through. Maybe some ones and twos as that line is coming through, but once again, as soon as we get into, I would say, 4, 5, and 6 o'clock, on Thursday morning, the severe threat is going to be well over off the coast, and we're just going to be left with mostly rain. So, once again, a little, I'm trying to word this the best way I can. We have the shot for tornadoes, but it's not, as high as it currently is in Mississippi and Alabama. So
And yeah, let me just do this for you. So I know what you're saying. So yeah, I've said this earlier. I've said this a couple of times today. There's more instability. There's more shear. There's more lift,
right.
and all the factors. So slim, shear, lift, instability, and moisture. There's more of all of those components further to our. So there's not going to be as high of a severe weather threat here as there is going to be there. And especially whenever you're talking about a tornado, because the tornado obviously needs the lift, it needs that updraft, it needs instability. It cannot form under a stable atmosphere. If we had a stable atmosphere, we'd see sunny skies, even a partly cloudy sky that would indicate a stable atmosphere, which we will not have any of that. We'll definitely have a bunch of rain and everything. And this is something that's not really mentioned, but weather happens because it wants to stabilize the environment. So anytime you see rain, anytime that you see tornadoes, hurricanes, this is all happening to stabilize the atmosphere. That is the whole purpose of weather, and it's not really mentioned by anyone. And a lot of people actually wonder, why do weather occur? Why does weather occur? And that's exactly why. So if we're taking a look at this composite reflectivity, I think he has pulled up, that is just showing that we are going to see some rain and even some thunderstorms moving through the area throughout the day tomorrow, and that's even going to continue into the Thursday. But like he was saying, I do want to say it one more time just to reiterate it, we do not have as high of a threat of severe weather and tornadoes as they do off to our west in Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, that they had, and even making their way into portions of Alabama as we speak. However, it is still there because it's mainly because of this south to north motion. If he will play this frame real quick, you can see that the storms are moving more south to north while it is drifting off to the east. And it really does start to become more of just a eastern motion as we head through the day tomorrow. And that's another sign that it could be weakening, because whenever you get the south to north motion, but it's drifting off to the east, that indicates wind shear because the front is moving off to the east, but the moisture and the warm air is being drug in from the south. So you have winds coming from the south, but you have upper level winds because the front usually occurs around the 850 millibar height. That does occur, and it is moving off to the east. So you can even still see the south to north motion, which indicates we do have some shear across the area, but it's not nearly as much as what they have off to our west.
Well said. And then also, here's a look at that shear for you. Here's at Wednesday at 2 a.m. Here's at 6. A little bit right there as well. And then eventually, as you head into Thursday morning as well. And I would like just go back to this, the reflectivity as well, and just to show you this one more time. I would say probably, for those of you who live across the upstate and Midlands, your severe weather threat is probably going to come, I would say, Will, correct me if I'm wrong, mid to late afternoon across much of the upstate and Midlands.
The rain and storms are going to start to move in towards the late morning hours in the upstate. So if you go back a little bit,
Yep.
So if you go back to, I think I want you to go to maybe, yeah, stay right there. So 08Z, that is 4 a.m. in the morning. So if we fast forward to 12Z, which is 8 a.m., you start to see those rain and even a few thunderstorms more towards the foothills. But fast forward to about 14 or 15Z, those thunderstorms really start to move into portions of the upstate and even making their way into portions of the western Midlands. Now, if we drag ahead towards, this is 18Z, so this is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're really starting to get more heating of the day, so therefore more instability, more moisture being drug in because this front is starting to come together a little bit more right there. And you are going to see your stronger thunderstorms between about 2 and 7 o'clock. While I do have a severe weather graphic that I am about to post that does give you the exact timing for your region.
If you want to, actually pull that up and I'll share it on the Google Meet.
I can do that.
Bottom line with this system, we're not trying to make you worried or get you scared about anything. This is a severe weather event. It's not the most dangerous severe weather event we've seen, but it's not the most non-dangerous, if you know where I'm going. So bottom line,
if you
make sure that you are very weather aware over the course of the day tomorrow, especially if you live in the upstate and Midlands. Be sure that you have multiple ways to get warnings, watches, advisories, whenever and if they are ever issued. For those of you who live right along the coastline, once again, probably overnight tomorrow night, and into your day on Thursday as well, when we have the most amount of instability. That line works its way off of the coast overnight, and then we get our secondary line to form, and that will bring us just mostly rain. But thankfully, the severe weather threat will only last, I would say, Will, correct me if I'm wrong, only about 2 to 4 hours right along the coastline.
Yeah, if you pull up my
yes.
screen, I will actually go through my entire forecast update. So here you get a special forecast update right in this live.
Will's weather at your fingertips.
You got that right, and I will have this posted on my Facebook page momentarily. I'm actually in the middle of posting it on my Facebook page as I speak, but I'm going to give this update real quick. Tell me when I am good to go.
You should be good to go.
All right, so Wednesday severe weather threat. I mean, we've already been through this a couple of times, but here's our slight risk of severe weather. It goes for the entire state, and what that means is we are dealing with some scattered thunderstorms. Most of them are going to be short-lived, and we could see some intense thunderstorms within these, but our main concern are going to be the strong gusty winds. A few large hailstones are possible, and a few tornadoes are also possible. So here are your severe weather threats. Strong storms are definitely the highest threat. That isn't necessarily a severe weather threat. However, it does show our thunderstorm threat. Here, let's call it that. So thunderstorms, strong storms, 3 out of 6 risk on my scale, 2 out of 6 for your tornado, gusty winds, and large hail. So definitely not as high as to areas to our east, our west. I would actually put that at a 4 or a 5 on my scale. And just because some of these thunderstorms could drop some locally heavy rainfall, I am keeping a level 1 out of 6 risk on my scale for flash flooding. So we have timed this out. So throughout the afternoon, it is going to make its way through the Midlands, eventually making its way towards the coast by about 8 o'clock. And that moisture is still going to be drugged from the south, moving to the north. So showers and even a few rumbles of thunder is possible Thursday morning, and a few showers even into your Thursday afternoon. So as we head off to school tomorrow, we are going to stay in the 50s in the upstate, with 60s everywhere else. We are going to start to deal with some of those rain showers moving in by about 7 o'clock. And then those thunderstorms move into the upstate by about 10 o'clock tomorrow. So by about lunchtime tomorrow, you are still dealing with some thunderstorms, some rain starting to make its way into portions of the Midlands and PD as well. We are hanging on to the 60s in the upstate, but generally in the 70s everywhere else. Then as we head home, the severe weather threat is really over in the upstate, but we are still dealing with some strong to severe storms right as we head home about 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the Midlands, PD, and Low Country. And our temperatures are in the low 70s in the upstate and upper 70s in the other 3 regions. So here's our 10-day forecast, actually. So thunderstorms are possible tomorrow. Not possible. They are likely tomorrow, actually. 90% chance of rain, and that's going to even last into your Thursday. We are going to cool off a little bit as we head into your weekend, and we are going to start to clear out as that front does move out. I'll be monitoring another system that is making its way into the area around late Wednesday into early Thursday, so that could bring another chance of seeing those thunderstorms, and it's not as high along the coast on your Thursday. Friday. I think it will be more of a Thursday night into Friday morning, especially along the coast next week. But that's just something that we have to monitor because a slight shift could change the entire timing of the system. So keep it at Will's weather tomorrow or even Liam's weather tomorrow for the live coverage of the severe weather tomorrow, and just keep it here in general for the latest information all the time. So, Liam, I
Standing
will toss this
ovation.
back over to you.
And that right there is Will's weather at your fingertips live.
And like I said, I think we can go ahead and end this if you really want to, because really the instability and the convection, it's just not there anymore. I mean, yeah, we are seeing a couple of tornado warnings still there from prior systems, and even a few severe thunderstorm warnings, but it's not as prominent as it was earlier. So
Yeah.
if you want to go ahead and end this, it's
Yeah.
up to you.
Let me actually do this. I know we just shared a heck of a lot of information with each and every single one of you. And I see we still have 3 people watching. Do any of you have any questions for me or Will about this threat? I'll give you guys. It's currently 7:55 right now. I'll give you all until about 7:58 or 7:59 to ask us any other questions you might have, and then we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream. We really do appreciate y'all joining us tonight and trusting us to bring you this live coverage. Once again, I will be with Ed Piotrowski tomorrow night. He will be with Josh Knight, 2 of the best meteorologists in the state of South Carolina. So we will be trying to post as many updates as we can. Once again, if you have any questions or comments or concerns after this live stream, you can always email us. My email is 621ldk@gmail.com. Will's is willsweather25@gmail.com. You can always DM us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook Messenger. You can comment in any of our videos. We'll be more than happy to respond to you as quickly as we possibly can. So there's multiple ways to get in touch with us if you have any questions about this outbreak or anything just, in general about ourselves, or anything in just in weather about, anything in general just about weather. We will be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Yep. So go ahead and leave them with the radar. And if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. We'll be here for the next 5 minutes or so. So just let us know if you have any questions, comments, or any concerns, or otherwise just email us or even DM us on any of our social media platforms.
Well said. Alrighty, so it is now 7:58, and no questions or concerns have been left down in the comment box. So that is gonna wrap up me and Will's live coverage slash update tonight. Thank you all so much for joining once again. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new, turn on notifications, and also be sure to click that like button if you're enjoying the content. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the whole 9 yards for more in-depth coverage and details. We will be with you every single step of the way throughout the rest of the severe season and even the upcoming hurricane season as well. This is what we specialize in, severe and tropical activity as well. Alrighty, so that is going to wrap up tonight's live coverage. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great night, and we will see you next time. Please stay safe.